Om Shivaya Shivabalayogindraya Parabrahmanaya. Tomorrow we are celebrating our Divine Guru Shiva Bala Yogi's 86th birthday. Due to COVID reasons, it will not be in a big way of a big gathering. A small, devoted and dedicated people will come. That's what's happening all over the world also. People are celebrating. May He bless you all for a beautiful meditation, successful meditation. May you all be able to understand the right technique that you have to simply watch in between eyebrows. This watching happens purely on your pure willpower. You have to understand in the inner layers of your mind, and you have to adopt and just see, just watch, just see the things, what happens. Whether any thoughts are there, any visions are there, just do not bother about them. What are they? Why are they? Nothing. Just watch. So then your meditation will be more successful. For the next 30 minutes, let's go to meditation. Afterwards, we have time to discuss, talk, ask, tell, everything. All of you sitting in any comfortable posture, gently close your eyes. Gently watch in between eyebrows by focusing the attention of your mind and sight. Do not repeat any mantra or name, and do not imagine about anything. Do not open your eyes till I recite a prayer and will ask you to open the eyes. May you all be blessed.
Yes, Babaji, my question is like this Maun Vrat, practice of silence. Like you said, we cannot listen, we should not talk to somebody, we should not listen to, but how is it possible? Shouldn't we, while supposing I practice 1 hour of silence, then shouldn't I listen to bhajans or watch television in that hour?
Now, a silence is a totally different thing. All other times you can listen to bhajans, devotional songs. When you observe silence, it is recommended that you keep the surroundings also totally in silence. Choose such a place so that your mind shall not imagine about anything. It also practices to remain in silence. So that is the essence of Mauna
And what about reading a book while then do, at least we are supposed to do something then.
No, that is not silence. So if you read a book, your mind will spin around that book's sentences and words, and it will start moving, spinning in its own way and imagining in its own way. The idea of Maunavrata is so that you practice to remain quiet in the mouth also at the same time that you practice to achieve a silence within the mind also as much as possible. So that's what our gurus recommended anytime when he spoke about Mauna. The other times all you can reading a book and listening to devotional songs is always very good, but not during observing silence. That's what your practice has to be. Otherwise, you will again be used to some sound, sight, some language, some words, some imaginations. You have to practice that.
So Babaji, at times you go for 2 days silence, I know. So for those 2 days, you keep on just sitting and sitting idle.
See, that's what, it's not idle. Keeping the mind quiet is a great sadhana. It's not an idle. Idle is an imagination. So, idle is when you physically remain idle but allow the mind to be active. That is what the old saying, idle man's brain is devil's workshop. That is different. So you must try to keep that mind also quiet or at the most focused in between eyebrows and just watching there. Practice like that. Whatever is possible, as long as it is possible. Practice for 1 day, practice for half a day first, and then you can increase the duration.
Okay, thank you, Babaji.
So actually, during the dhyanam, sometimes my mind gets stuck in one thought. So, should I remove that? Should I remove my thought and start focus? Should I start again my focus on my dhyana or in the particular attention itself, or what should I do?
Yeah, you try to watch in between eyebrows. That is what you remove all thoughts, will go automatically. You cannot think and remove the thought. You have to simply watch in between eyebrows without analyzing or making any judgment of any thoughts. Then the thought will disappear.
I mean, during the dhyanam, currently today itself, I'm doing the dhyanam. Only then my mind got stuck in particular one point, and I started to think and analyzing. Then I thought, no, I'm not doing it right. And then again, I have to, restuck my mind, and then again I start to non thinking itself. You know,
Yes. That's what watching in between eyebrows. Otherwise, the mind may not stop in that one thought. It will jump to another, another, and like that, millions of thoughts keep coming. So it gets involved.
Thank you, Babaji. Thank you. A second question, Babaji. After your tapaspurti, when you come to the divinity which we call God and Lord Shiva, Mata Parvati, Ardhanarishwar. After that, do you again have you in daily basis? Do you ever come face to face with the divinity, as our Swamiji used to see in his stories, which I read over the websites and books itself.
See, if any time it is necessary, you can invoke them to come in a form, but they are all pervaded, and it is a supreme consciousness. A yogi once merged with the total self, final self, he is always with the divine.
Thank you, Babaji. Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, Babaji. I feel very blessed to be able to ask you these questions. I've written this one down because I don't want to go off track. So I was reading your book, The Heart of Peace, and in the chapter on surrender, pages 25 and 26, you give 6 points to help us go into to let go of mental agitation. I was struck by number 5 and 6 especially, and your use of the word fun in this sentence. And it says, when the mind realizes there's no more fun, that in that imagination, it drops the thought that gives trouble, finish quote. But you also seem to say that it is duality that fuels the imagination, duality that gives fuel, bhakti, energy. You speak to us a lot about dualities, maturity, immaturity being one of them. Also in the Indian culture, a lot is spoken about Mother and Kali, and she seems to be the epitome of dualities. And in M's book, in the Gospel of Ramakrishna, he speaks of how Ramakrishna cried and cried for days when he was at Kali's temple in Dakshineswar, begging Mother to show herself to him, until he took a sword and said he would kill himself if she did not show herself to him. This was declaring one of the ultimate dualities, that is between life and death. It is then she said that she showed herself to him. Please, will you say more about this fun and duality and the mother? Because I'm beginning to think we need to acknowledge what is loosely called bad and bring into focus much more personally and for humans all over the world to see this dance that goes on in the world between good and bad, depicted by Kali, but little understood by this depiction, and which gives us the fuel for existence, which our meditation is helping us to see and try to rise above until we become self-realized and can remain there permanently. Sorry it's so long.
Well, if you can keep quiet and pay attention, then I can answer the question that you asked earlier. duality, the entire creation is made up of duality. One is important because of the other. Good is important because there is a bad in the world. And the bad is important because there is good in the world. You understand the value of peace when you lose that peace. So these are the dualities. To overcome all these once for all and achieve supreme peace at all times, you have to rise above these dualities and go to the real self. Make your mind merge with the self. So that is what is self-realization and the final truth of supreme peace. Other things, seeing God in a form, though they are dualities, so that will be the lost, separated scene that one would see after a tapas. You have to do real tapas for the divine to manifest in a particular form. So if you are used to that form, or if you had resolved in that to see the divine in that form and do sadhana, like Ramakrishna, he did a great tapas, great sadhana, but he always visualized Mother Kali. So thus he had the darshan of Mother Kali. So that was when Totapari came. What the book that you were reading, the gospel, Totapari Maharaj came to Dakshineshwar where Ramakrishna lived, and he wanted to teach non-duality to Ramakrishna Paramahansa. Also he offered that I want to give you sannyas. So then first Ramakrishna tells, I have to seek mother's permission. So Totapari ridicules, makes fun. This is all childish play. Okay, anyway, go in and seek permission of your Mother Kali. He goes in, prays to Mother, and after some time comes out, then says, Ki, Mother has permitted that I can take sannyas from you and I can practice the Nirvikalp Samadhi and total self-realization. Merger of the mind once for all into the self. Thereby only one single self remains. There is no any dualities there. So fast, Totapari makes Ramakrishna to sit in the asana and asks him to concentrate in between eyebrows and just keep watching there. Do not repeat any mantra, name, no form. Just be there. That's what he advises. So after every moment, Ramakrishna opens the eyes, tells, I am able to withdraw my senses, my mind, everything in between eyebrows and hold it onto that there. But I am unable to remove Mother Kali's picture. She is standing all the time. So when Totapari gets annoyed and takes a glass and pierces him in between eyebrows, that's what the story says. And then Ramakrishna goes into Nirvikalp Samadhi. He tells, how come you are unable to? Forget about everything. Your Kali has been killed. She no more exists. There is no such thing called Mother Kali. Just the self. Just concentrate. So then he goes into Nirvikalp Samadhi. Several days he stayed in that Samadhi like that. So that's how non-duality is achieved.
Babaji, thank you for being here with us. Babaji, my question is, what is the relevance of bhava and attachment once you are in deep meditation?
Bhava is one of the basic energetic force for devotional path. So when you become attached to a particular form of the divinity or your guru, so that's when the bhava happens. So when you practice meditation, you eventually overcome this bhava and you merge with the self. Thus you become self-realized. That is when totally once for all mind gives up all imaginations and gets detached from the brain, and going into samadhi, a yogi experiences that self. So in bhava, you will have dualities, you and your deity. You will get to see your deity. That's what, like Swamiji said, if a person goes into bhava, such a person gets the vision of the deity or Ishtadevata, other people surrounding, they might see some action in the body of that person connected to that deity. So that's what bhava or bhava samadhi, that's what is known as. That's what Swamiji blessed his devotees, so that to bring them onto devotional path, bless them with the divine energy.
So, Babaji, in your example earlier, did Ramakrishna have bhava for Mother Kali?
Yes. In fact, his bhava, the great scholars told that it is Mahabhava. When Bhairavi Brahmini came to Ramakrishna, and then she called a meeting of the great learned scholars of that time surrounding, they all discussed and they all declared what Ramakrishna is undergoing is in Mahabhava. He is almost one with that divinity, but yet the non-duality has not yet happened. And there is a very amusing situation at that time. Ramakrishna's nephew Hriday, who used to look after Ramakrishna during his tapas sadhana, he used to feed Ramakrishna. In fact, it is said that otherwise Ramakrishna's body could have perished in that deeper sadhana had it not been for Hriday forcibly who fed Ramakrishna. He comes running from the meeting. Ramakrishna is just strolling in the corridor. He says, "Oh, Mama, these scholars tell that you are a great incarnation, avatar." Then Ramakrishna, in a very simple way, tells, "I don't know whether I am an incarnation or not. At least I am happy that I am not a madman." That is in the story. That's very beautiful.
Thank you, Babaji. Thank you.
Okay. The first is about if I can do something with my spiritual practice to be able to go as soon as possible to India, or if it is all external world like the COVID situation or all about that. I know that the divine is playing all that, but I don't know if I can do more for my side or something.
You see, to practice spirituality like meditation or any such thing, there is no such thing that you have to go to a certain place on this earth. If for some reason, so that is stopping you, when it is possible to travel, you can go anywhere, wherever it appeals to your mind and it suits your temperament, you can always go and do sadhana. There is no problem. But for some reason, if such a thing has not been able to do by you, then wherever you are, you must apply your mind and continue your sadhana. There is no reason why you should stop your sadhana. That's what our master Shiva Bala Yogi taught us. Simple. You have to have the willpower, sit down in the corner of your house, wherever you are, and keep doing. So that will definitely come.
And the next is if you can talk something about Adi Parashakti, because I know some history or some, but I don't know what this or her really means.
What Swamiji told me once was Shiva and Shakti, the supreme being, is made up of supreme consciousness and supreme energy. They are inseparable. This is what the concept of Ardhanarishwara in Indian philosophy, Indian culture. So this has been explained. So Adi Parashakti is the first manifested form of the supreme energy of the divine. So Swamiji used to tell a beautiful story for this. When the beginning of creation, Rudra appeared. Rudra means a ferocious form of the divinity. So, but after he appeared, he went into samadhi because he shouted, "Who am I? How am I come into existence? What is the secret?" So, like now, all the generation after generation creatures in this world, they will consider they are here in the physical body because of their parents. So that's how it continues. Hardly anybody would bother to know who am I actually, how do I exist really, what is my coming into existence reason, all such things. But suppose if you are made to appear in the center of the space, you would be wondering, how did I come into existence like this? So that's how the shouting came, and the voice from the depth of the space initiated Rudra into this same meditation into which Swamiji was initiated, to concentrate in between eyebrows, and thus Rudra went into immediate Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So creation could not continue. Then whenever the creation started happening, by the appearance of Rudra, enormous amount of fire also appeared. That went on engulfing all the creation totally. It never would allow any creation to remain. So then the divine took the forms of Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, and Brahma Manasa Putras of Sanaka, Sanandadi yogis. They all prayed to that ultimate truth to manifest and appear in the form of Bhuvaneshwari, the mother concept. So mothers is the most kindest concept in the creation, who would unconditionally forgive the creation and never would even expect somebody to apologize also, pray for forgiveness also, but would readily forgive. And then that concept manifested and gave the creation, gave away from the womb, from her own womb. That's how the creation started happening, and Mother Goddess Adi Parashakti manifested herself. That's how Swamiji used to tell.
Thank you.
Okay, so my first question is, so I'm a little confused about sort of the purpose of tapas, which is like extended meditation for like 8-hour sessions or more. So is the point to sort of become more aware of like deeper sensations and feelings in our bodies? Because like we just get like a deeper and deeper sort of consciousness of our existence. Is that the point?
See, this consciousness of existence is infinite. It is not connected to any part of the body. It is what the mind is known as pure consciousness. As long as there are thoughts and visions, you call the same substance as mind. So through the practice of meditation, and eventually when you are able to do longer meditations for more than 8 to 10 hours in a stretch, then when you are able to do tapas, so you burn all the habits, acquired habits of the mind. Then the mind regains the form of pure consciousness and it becomes quiet. When it becomes quiet, getting detached from the brain, it merges, gets absorbed into the real self. So that is what the consciousness of existence, and you become aware of the self. So this gives you supreme peace, because peace and happiness, knowingly or unknowingly, everybody is looking for peace and happiness only. So that becomes the purpose. Until the mind doesn't find that supreme peace once for all, like 12 months, 24 hours, I keep telling in my teachings. So at all the time, there should not be any fluctuation of anxiousness, fear, or any other thing, and then excitement, but only peace, composed peace at all times. So that is the purpose of tapas.
Awesome. Thanks, Babaji. And sorry, to follow on with that. So you know how you're saying like everyone's looking for like supreme peace or happiness, but I thought happiness was another one of those dualities, because if you have happiness, you also have unhappiness.
You see, when you talk of the happiness in this world, mind is though looking for happiness, it has lost its path and it is looking extrovert from the objects of this world. That's when it gets involved into dualities. Because as I told, one is important because of the other, and it's not going to be permanently into one of the dualities always. There is always a change. If there is happiness, unhappiness will also follow. If there is unhappiness, happiness will also follow. So that's what happens. So instead of this, spirituality recommends that you go back to the real self, which is the permanent happiness or peace, whatever you call. Peace is the recommended goal, because peace means when the mind totally gets composed and settles down peacefully, remains there contented by abandoning all cravings once for all. So that is the supreme peace that is recommended. Then you won't get involved into dualities. That supreme peace is inexplicable because there is no relative existence for that.
My question is connected to the first question, which is about Maunavrita. I was wondering whether when we perform daily activities on our own, at cooking or cleaning, and we're not talking or thinking, just performing the activities, is that also considered a type of a Maunavrita, almost like karma yoga?
Somewhat Maunavrata can go on, but however, it will be more successful when you are working. You simply accept the results, means do not entertain any expectations. Then the mind jumps into imaginations and troubles you. What if this happens? What if this does not happen? Without bothering of what happening, you just go on doing your cooking and just go on cooking, so that the mind also slowly slips back into quietness. Then the Maunavratam will be more successful. However, first thing is when you don't talk, when you don't open your mouth, no sound comes at all. So that is the first practice, and after that this will also come in due course of time.
Thank you.
Yeah, my question is, how can we preserve our energy, right? It's more like internalize and preserve instead of wasting and leaking outward. Is there any concept like that, or is it that is also our imagination? Or
Very idea of meditation is to conserve all your energies.
right.
You conserve. When you concentrate the mind and hold on to that one, so when it is not left to unnecessarily go into imaginations, then you are conserving all the energy. Because of the presence of energy only, mind goes into imaginations. So they are inseparable, as we told. That is the Shiva Shakti combination that has been explained as Ardhanarishwara. Shiva means your existence in total thoughtlessness state, Nishcheshtit. So Shakti is the first invisible infinite energy of the divinity. So thus these two can be conserved when you practice meditation. Otherwise, when more load happens on the brain, I keep telling, you apply your mind's load more than that is necessary. To live in this world, you need a little bit of imagination. So, and then you can live and execute your duties and work, all can happen without giving rise to any anxieties or any such fearful imaginations about the future. Just focus in the presence. So otherwise it will get drained out all energy and you feel so tired very quickly. So that's when you practice meditation regularly, you will be able to conserve all the energy, mental energy and the consciousness, everything you will be able to conserve. That's what the thing that can take you back to the self.
Other than meditation, like meditation is one of the things. Other than that, any other tips?
All other exercises, they are all like preliminary round exercises.
Okay.
Music can be a very good therapy. Music, if it can be devotional song, melodious and very soothing effect on the mind, so that can be helpful for the mind to remain under control. And if any mantra, any jap is appealing to you, the name of God or the name of the Guru, That also you can keep repeating, or you yourself can go on singing. Like this, all the things that have been taught in religion or spirituality is meant for this purpose only, to keep the mind concentrated, single pointed, thereby you conserve all the energy, consciousness, and also the energy.
Oh, namaste. Thanks, Babaji.
Namaste, Babaji. Thank you for giving us that beautiful story about Ramakrishna ji when he went into Nirvikalpa Samadhi. After a couple days, though, he came back and Kali was there again in his life. So could you please comment on that?
You know, once he achieved Nirvikalpa Samadhi, he had realized that non-duality and his mind had merged with the self. After that, because he had practiced tapas in the duality of bhava, so he used to go into a mahabhava all the time. But that did not disturb his nirvikalpa samadhi, natural samadhi of his consciousness. Also his self-realization did not get disturbed. He had realized and become aware of that. So that was how, you see, to some selected disciples, he used to take them into a room and talk to them about non-duality specifically. To those who could understand, who could practice, who had reached that higher stage. For all others, he would recommend the duality, devotional path, mantra japa, all these things, he would do this one. So he did recommend only to selected few direct disciples. He spoke about non-duality also.
Thank you, Babaji.
So their question is, I understand that for the purposes of this practice, one must focus between one's eyebrows. However, would you say that one can focus on anything, for instance, the breath, or on one's nostrils, or any other method that enables one-pointedness?
You see, first thing, this is the technique which the appearance of Lord Shiva, as a Jangama said, was given to my Guru. And our Guru passed it on to all of us, to whomever he initiated this meditation. So naturally, I would like to pass on through this technique only, one, and recommend this. I have told as one of the highest methods practiced in ancient India also, because in this you are trying to give the mind a practice to become quiet and focused without any external anchor. There is no imagination of any anchor, and you are not asked to concentrate on any object, subject, or anything, whether infinite or otherwise. Simply you are asked just to focus your attention in between eyebrows and just keep watching there, and don't imagine what it is. So this helps the mind. When it becomes totally quiet and totally concentrated, it automatically goes introvert and eventually merges with the self. However, if any other method is appealing to you, my Guru was a very unique teacher. He initiated as a friend into this technique and told, if you are in the habit of doing any other technique, you can continue either before meditation or after meditation. There is no harm, as long as you think that you need that one. But finally, one day you will have to abandon that focus also, so that the mind goes introvert. Otherwise, the mind can remain stuck. Just like we told about Ramakrishna's story of getting stuck to Mother Kali's manifested picture. So that's what the important thing. Once you understand this concept, so you can concentrate anywhere. It's up to you.
Thank you, Babaji.
It's very hard to be here without any, for me, without any major desire, because desires seem to be taken away. And then when something good does happen, something bad happens immediately. So anyway, I guess I just need blessings. I don't know.
You see, as long as you understand, you have a desire, having a desire itself is no problem. But whatever the result comes, you have to accept. Only then you have that peace. This is one thing. Another thing is, during meditation, you need to practice to remain silent is important. You can have a desire after you come out of the meditation. So we can take care of the desire afterwards, right? So if you do like this, you don't have to be scared about meditation. It will give you enormous peace.
Okay, thank you, Babaji.
Babaji, I just want to know what is the science of prayers, because many times I pray and it happens. Matlab, I have trust in that there is some activity that happens. So when mind gets silenced, it automatically divine thing happens and it happens. But my question is, suppose if I pray in front of you in the prayer room, does it first reaches to you, then it get permission from you, then it happens, or it is automatically connected to divine through that and then it happens?
You see, just like if you touch the electric wire, live wire, it will give you the shock. That is the automatic thing. Your mind is, ultimate truth of your mind is what the divine is. So whenever you have faith, means your mind remains focused, best concentrated when you pray. So introvert, it touches the divinity. In any name, in the name of your guru, in the name of any deity, any forum, if you pray, so then when your mind going introvert touches that divinity, then the grace flows automatically. So that's what really happens. It can happen in any name, so that you think. So through any name also, it will be an automatic divine activity. I don't have to think that I have to bless you. Automatically the blessings will go due to the grace of the divine.
So if we think on formless, then also it happens.
Yes, in any name, in any formless name, in a name of a form, in any way it can happen, provided you have that faith that will connect you to that, to your guru or to your divine, whichever thing is.
Thank you, Babaji.
What are the qualities one should have to be able to progress in meditation?
Dedication, discipline, and patience. If you have these three qualities, that's good enough. Dedication, I have told, you set a priority, understand the need, and without fail. So you have to sit down, you have to understand, I have to do it. That is dedication. Discipline, without fail, every day practice. That is discipline. So at that time, it should inspire and it should make you restless if you don't sit. That is the disciplined practice. And have patience. Mind has gone out of control since time immemorial. It will take some time for the mind to come under control. Overnight it may not happen. Don't lose patience in the rush. So these three qualities are the best, and to achieve anything in the world, to achieve in meditation also, these are the three things. Time is not available in any shopping complex. You must realize this. Never give excuse that you don't have time. You have somewhere to go, you have something else to do, then you lose. You are the loser. Nobody else will lose this. That's what dedication. You have to do it. Just today you took out your time and came to this Zoom session. Otherwise, you can give 100 excuses also if you didn't want to come. So that also can happen. So you have to be dedicated, be disciplined, practice. Practice is the mantra which can make you perfect. And this can happen when you have patience, skillfully, gently, you have to catch hold of the mind. So because mind is the most infinite, no rope can tie it. You cannot catch through any object or any other matter of this world. Only the mind has to stop itself.
Thank you, Babaji. Thank you very much for all of your answers.
Wonderful. I appreciate all your participation by taking out your precious time. May you all be blessed by our Divine Guru. As I told in the beginning, as tomorrow we will be celebrating Swamiji's birthday. May Swamiji bless you all to remain determined, to be dedicated with the discipline you practice, and with all the patience achieve the truth to yourself. May you all be blessed.